This is not
the XFL!
Hey everybody, this sneak preview of This Is Not the XFL show is brought to you by Pretty Easy Podcasts. If you've ever thought about doing a podcast but did not want to do all the technical stuff, you have a great idea, you have a passion, you want to do a show, you maybe don't have the time, you need someone to help you, go to prettyeasypodcast.com and get started today. Of course, the full episode of this show is on Patreon. Give to our Patreon on any tier of your choice and get all sorts of extra XFL content and, of course, a whole lot of football talk, all the football talk you can handle. Check it out. We're going to look at your mock draft. I am going to pick it apart, though. I'm taking kitty gloves off when we go through your mock draft.
That's what mock drafts are all about.
And I've been listening to a lot of Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and reading, Walter Football, and I know what's going on. I follow this thing just as closely as you. I just don't have the guts to put a mock draft out there. So I'm going to take the time to really bash you and make fun of you, or at least question you. You could explain yourself. We'll do that today. Thank you, gentle patrons, for giving to the Patreon. Obviously, you're here listening to this bonus show, and we put a lot into it every week just for you because you're giving to us. We want to give back. This is what it's all about, covering the big football events of the year. We're 1 week away from the draft, Vince. Before we get into the formal parts of the show, I want to know what everybody has planned next week for their draft. Will you be having a party? Will you be sitting in a room real dark with a laptop, taking notes? What are you going to be doing?
Well, me and my lovely wife, every time there's a draft, not just NFL draft, but NBA draft, WNBA draft, we always get pizza during the draft, and it is our wedding anniversary as well on the day of the first round of the draft. So it's going to be extra special.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful time, a perfect time for a couple to celebrate an anniversary. How about you, Brian? What are you going to be cozying up with your fiance and watching 32 selections on Thursday night?
I actually am going to be watching this year because I really want to keep tabs on what's going on with Vince's mock draft. Normally, it's not a big day. You just kind of just hang out, but I feel like it's going to be more exciting because I feel like I have something on the line this year.
You're not going to City Walk to watch on the big screen.
They don't do that.
Steak.
I haven't been there since the Kings lost to the Lakers. I think it was like 2001.
Don't bring that up. I'm still a little hurt by that.
That was very fun. This is the first. I think I've been at like a bar for working at radio stations for the last few years in a mock for the NFL draft, and nobody at the bar was paying attention to it at all. This year, I'll watch it Thursday. I'll watch it Friday, but as a traditionalist, and even though I like the spectacle now, Saturday is the big day for the draft. We all know that, Vince. So
yeah,
I will pay the most attention. I'll do the most for Saturday for the late rounds. Probably cook up a big breakfast and just sit in my pajamas and take copious notes. I miss the draft being on Saturday.
Oh, I do too. I wish it was all one day. If it could be, I miss when it was held in the lobby of a hotel. Even though it may seem bigger to some, it's not as exciting to me anymore.
You could have hundreds of thousands of people, and this year they're gonna have Dolly Parton, Bryant, but it's the draft. It's not WrestleMania. But I understand it's a big money maker, and the networks are all involved now.
Well, did you hear the NFL wanted to cut down like 60 trees outside of the stadium? I'm not even joking.
This is
real. They wanted to cut down like 60 trees outside of the stadium for a stage, and I think the city shut.
I'm not surprised Roger Goodell would.
I don't think the city stopped them. I think people petitioned.
Are there going to be like hippies tied to trees out at the draft, just behind the stage?
How great would that be? Like after every pick, they cut down some big redwood, and the pick is in timber.
The mayor of Nashville, Tennessee says the city is not going to cut down 21 ornamental cherry trees to make space for an NFL draft stage.
Oh, my.
In a Saturday news release, Mayor David Briley said he has informed the NFL and Nashville Convention and Visitors Corp that they will not remove the trees intact and replant them. They were going to remove them and replant them within the city. Any trees that are diseased or near death will be replaced with new healthy trees.
Nothing is as sacred as the NFL if you're Roger Goodell. He does not give a damn. He's a frat boy. He's a frat boy. He doesn't care. I hope he comes out with like a styrofoam cup and he's just littering all over the place just to stay on brand.
Oh, man.
Good Lord. Well, it's going to be a spectacle. From everything we're hearing, this Nashville draft's going to be huge. And so is Vince's mock draft. It's really interesting. It's a lot of detail on every player. We'll go through it here in a moment. But first, let's start things off flipping the coin, a this or that question to ease us in here.
Call it plays in the air. Heads is the call. He said heads. It is a tails.
We're going to call it in the air on one of the more fascinating teams going into the NFL season for 2019, the Cleveland Browns. Because when you make the splashy moves they've made